Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Myron. Today, we are going to discuss who is responsible for the high whiskey prices. Is it us? Is it the manufacturers? I don't know. So, the reason why I wanted to talk about this in this video is because I've noticed that lately, not lately, so over the recent years, prices have just continued to go up. Case in point, this bottle right here, Remus. So Remus, when you first got them, first they were the Greg, can't think of his name right now. He was mixing for them at MGP, and then he started his own thing at Old Elk. But they didn't catch on, and then Remus came out. The Remus line came out. They did much better. They were considerably cheaper, around $85, and then you started seeing them creep around 90, 95, then 100, then $120. But that has also been during the, I would say, bourbon boom, and during the secondary market where some people have actually gotten rich off of selling these bourbons for way higher than they need to be. And I might put a link in the description below for a funny story, and I might put a picture up on the screen that I saw about a guy who was selling some Buffalo Trace products and sold over 1,700 products to one store over the course of a year, and somebody turned him in. But anyway, Peerless has always been high, but this one has raised its price gradually over the years. This one right here, the Woodford Reserve. Now, this is a Woodford Double Oaked. I'm not the biggest fan of Woodford Reserve Double Oaked. Everyone kept saying get a pick. I got a pick. This Nixon Clinton pick, phenomenal. I've had a pick since. Thought it was okay. But this Nixon Clinton pick, super special. Anyway, tried the Woodford Double Oaked. And shout out to Chris from Bourbon Retriever, man. We said the same thing. We wanted to hate it, but we couldn't. Like, the nose was that good, the palate was that good, that we were like, like, it might be. It's hard to say that a bottle is worth $200. They retail that bottle at $200, but the problem is, and myself included, we get good bottles. We talk about how much we'd be willing to pay for them. Some of these distributors, they see their bottles going out and they say, oh, on secondary, that bottle goes for $150. Why can't we raise our price in the store? So they raise SRP on it, and then next thing you know, we're paying even more. So this right here is blends. This is the most asked for bottle across the United States. I think, one, because people assume that it's easier to get than Pappy Van Winkle, and people also assume that it's going to be cheaper than getting a Pappy Van Winkle. So they call these stores up and they say, hey, do you have Blanton's? I've been in the store several times where guys have come in, hey, do you have a drop? Do you have Blanton's? And get mad when they don't. This bottle used to be $60 at the Virginia ABC. And that's what I base pretty much most of my prices off of, because I live in Maryland, but I am in Virginia a lot. So I'm always at the Virginia ABC. Now this is a, well, $79.99, $80 bottle. We'll bump it up to $80. This is an $80 bottle. This is the only bottle that I've ever paid $80 for. I liked them when they were $60. I thought it was my $60 monster. I've got the 375 behind me. I've got the 750 behind me. I haven't bought a 750 in a very long time, maybe over 2 years. So I said it's time for me to get another one, because I cracked the 375 and it's starting to get low, and I felt like I needed another one. Not a huge fan of Elmer T. Lee, but all of the Buffalo Trace prices have gone up. And I think the reason why they have went up is because of us. Like, we are buying 107 on the black market or secondary market for $150. We are buying Blanton's on the secondary market for $150. don't get me started on some of these other bottles. All right, so Little Book really doesn't have a following on the secondary market, but it's dumb expensive. And the reason why it's dumb expensive is because we bought into the hype. Everything, and we know that these aren't super old barrels, but everything has to be aged old, or if it's super expensive, it's got to be good. No, that's not the case. Now this number 5, chapter 5, great bottle. I tried to get a chapter 7 from a guy. He wouldn't come down on the price, so I kind of left it behind. Had a ton of dust on it, wouldn't do it. Old Forester, let's just say Brown-Forman, period. Brown-Forman with some of their distilleries are the worst. If they raise up the price on my Jack, I'm gonna lose it. If they raise up the price on my Jack to like $100, I'm gonna lose it. Dude, Jack Daniels has been a staple on my bar since I tried the gold label. I am a single barrel proof guy. When they came out with the rye, couldn't wait to get it. Started teetering towards the rye until I got my hands on a 134.7. So that's 0.03 proof points away from being 135. I was head over heels. Coy Hill, head over heels. But the Woodford being $199 or $200, and then this right here being $120 if you can find it for retail. They're not worth it. They're really not. Look, I did a blind tonight, so this video is probably going to be released after that blind where this came in second. And if you are not a fan of that fingernail polish remover acetone note, you're probably not going to like this. This came in second to Early Times Black Cap, which is a $25 bottle. So like, I think the distilleries are saying, hey, we see that there's a secondary market. I don't necessarily think they want to curb the secondary market. I think they want to keep their prices low enough under the secondary market where guys will still go out and spend that amount if they see the bottle on the shelf, and high enough that the secondary market might not make as much profit as they did, but then the fact that it's higher on the shelf drives the secondary price higher. So I really don't know. So like I said, I'm asking you guys, like, who is at fault? Is it us for saying, hey, I'm gonna pay $150 for Stag? Because I've said it before. I'm like, yeah, I'd pay $150 for Stag. Like, that's my cutoff. So then let's say Stag goes up to $100. We're mad at Buffalo Trace, but we're not mad at that guy that's selling it on secondary. And now he might bump his price up from $150 to $200. So it's like, come on. So the distillery's like, well, why are you looking at me? Why am I the bad guy? You know, same thing with these blends. So like I said, I was happy at $60. Now it's $80. I'm like, I don't want to spend that. But you got guys out there paying $150 all day long for blends, for the pretty bottle at the top. That's it. Like I said, it's good juice, 93, good juice. I'm not gonna lie, my 93 proof monster. This right here, definitely not worth the 120. This right here, I don't think it's worth the 150. Is it good juice? Yes. I would rather get at myself a great pick of the Woodford Reserve, more so than going and getting a Woodford double oaked off the shelf for $200. I mean, $70, $200, that much of a difference. That much of a difference. The Remuses, I hate chasing these because I do find them enjoyable. I do. But the more they creep up in price, I'm not going to be hunting them. Peerless Double Oak, that review is going to come out, so stay tuned to the channel for that one to see if it is worth the price or not. And then when it comes to the Penelope, the reason why the Penelope is on the shelf, well, on the channel, is because it's just expensive. Like, Penelope and Remus is MGP's premium brand, so it's just going to be expensive. So anyway, with that being said, give me your thoughts on it and what bottles you think are way too expensive, way too overpriced. If we are the reason why prices are getting higher, or if the manufacturers are the reason why. And let the whiskey float. Never run out unless you head to a drop. Until next time.